Hey Coven! Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Runa, again. I know, I colored my hair. I'm doing a lot of glamour magic lately. I'll talk about it in a video in the future. I haven't really explored it much and I'm really enjoying it. But today's video is not about that. Today's video is actually kind of a witchy trend that goes on, but they genuinely are things that I wish someone would have told me back when I was first starting my practice. And so I'm going to tell you guys, in case you are beginners or even some advanced practitioners might really benefit from the tips that I'm going to be sharing in this video. And they're just little, they're not like tips and tricks for your practice, but they're just like little things to help your mindset in your practice. If you think you could benefit from that type of a video, please keep watching and hang out with me for a little bit. 7 things I wish I knew before I started witchcraft and paganism on my spiritual journey. That's what this video was all about. Thing number 1 is energy is everything. And I say this in a lot of videos, so of course I'm starting it out with this video because it is crucial. Energy is so important. That is why energy exchange is very, very important. When you get a reading from someone, if you can just exchange their service or trade them a good, if you can't pay them, energy exchange is so important. This is why offerings with deities are important, because if you want them to join you with your spells, you need to make sure that you're giving them energy in order to give you the request of helping with your spell. You got me? This is why, like I said, it is very important when you get a reading to donate or tip your reader and really make sure that they understand that you value the energy that they used in order to give you the message that you have received from them. Even if it wasn't a message that you necessarily liked or wanted to hear, it was probably something that you needed to hear. Granted, some people are full of shit and they aren't legit, and this kind of brings me to one of my next topic number 2, which is there are a shitload of scammers out there. Like, so many fakes, and a lot of them will use the face and literally the exact bio in their Instagram or TikTok or whatever to pose as an actual creator. And it is a consistent problem that I've seen going on for at least the past 2 years on social media, if not longer. When I was first practicing, I was on Tumblr. And I didn't really like take everything from there super serious, but it was just nice to see what other people were doing as far as like social media witchcraft. And then I just really like got off all social media and I went inward for a really long time. And then I got back out here, I created my channel. But first I had an Instagram, and Instagram is chock full of fake accounts. You guys, if you are very new to this, be aware that if someone is approaching you asking, hey, do you want to get a reading from me? They're probably not the real person that they're posing as being. I just want you to be aware of that, because that is a very, very chronic problem. And a lot of people are getting, like, sending money to these readers and then they just even don't get a reading, let alone like a bad reading that wasn't even real. There's a lot of crap like that going on out there, and it's really unfortunate. So use your cognitive thinking skills out there, my new friends. You know, not everybody out there is full of love and light. Some people are out there just wanting to get your money, you know, hoping that their corrupt ass can make bank off of spirituality being a trend right now. So keep that in mind, please. Not everybody out there actually wants to heal people. Some people just want your money. And even if they are like real, they're like the real deal and they do real magic and they're not like a fake account, some of them still just want your money. They're not actually there to help you, and it's really unfortunate. I've seen, like, I follow Christy Carlson Romano on YouTube right now, and she's talked about how she got ripped off by a psychic for, you know, buy this crystal, buy this to help you with your life, and like certain things can help, but the fact that she got hurt so bad by this psychic just because she knew that she was a young starlet, like, there's people out there who are really corrupt and they're not actually trying to help you, they just want your money. So please be safe. Some of us really do want to help people, and then other people, like I said, they just have dirty motivations. Please use your cognitive thinking skills when it comes to who you trust with your energy online. One thing that really overwhelmed me, we're getting on to topic number 3 now. One thing that really overwhelmed me in the beginning was how many different, like, subgenres there are in spirituality, and I try to cover a lot of them here, but there's so many that there's so many that I haven't even talked about yet, because it is such a wide genre. Even though, like, it's a part of my practice, I try to only make a video once a week so I don't burn out, because I want to stay here. So I'm trying to, you know, not overdo it. But the thing that I want to remind you all is that you don't have to be a starseed and a paranormal investigator and a witch and a pagan and all of these other crazy things all at one time. Like, you can build that over time. Just start with the thing that really interests you. Like, if you are super into astrology, if you've been that kid that checks your astrology in the magazines ever since middle school, start there. You know what I mean? If you have always been someone who loves cooking and throwing different ingredients in to see how the smell and the flavors changes, look into potions and herbology, you know, or herbalism. Harry Potter nerd in me calls it herbology. you know what I mean. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that you could do. I mean, if you really like art, you could already start just with color magic, because you already understand color theory, and then incorporate crystals and herbs that have those colors and see how that feels to you, and go from there. Your path is what you make it, which brings us on to number 4, which is your path is what you make it. You have the power to design this path exactly how you need it to be. You don't have to indoctrinate yourself the way that some of us with religious trauma have been taught spirituality is. Did you catch that? Did I say it too fast? Let me rephrase it. You don't have to follow a script for your path. Your path is what you make it. You get to walk and wander wherever the fuck you please. You get to go play with Odin. You get to go see what Hecate has for you. You get to go look into the Akashic Records if you want to. You get to call it Mimir's Well if that suits you better. You get to do whatever the fuck you want. And of course I'm using Norse pagan references because that's where my path is aligned. But yours doesn't have to be that. You could really align with Egyptian gods or the Greek gods or anything like that. I mean, as long as what you're doing is not appropriating a closed practice, you are free to do whatever the fuck you please. And if you want, you can find a priest to help you get into that closed practice, and some of them do have rules, so you need to be aware of that. But for the most part, a lot of us are eclectic these days because we like to take what resonates with us and leave what doesn't. That's fine. That's 100% valid. You get to make your path what the fuck you want it to be. There's no real rules with spirituality as long as you are still seeking wisdom, ascending your consciousness with that wisdom, and also healing yourself with that wisdom. These things are like those triple wheel diagrams. These all kind of coincide together, and you are in the middle. You are the common denominator from ascension, healing, and wisdom. All of this is you in your spirituality. That is something that I think is at the core of everybody's practice from people who I've talked to. They may not word it quite that way, but that's kind of something that goes in with a lot of spiritual practices, whether you identify as hippie or shaman or heathen or pagan or witch or practitioner or spiritualist or atheist who likes rocks because you also vibe with crystals. Like, whatever the fuck you identify as, valid. And you can make your path whatever you need it to be, 100%. Something that is actually going to be relevant in one of my next series, we are going on topic number 5 here. Something that is going to be relevant in the next month or two is literally everything that they told us was fake was actually kind of real. You know, like even dragons and unicorns, like they were real at one point, and it has been so long that they have become myth because certain things have gone extinct, or they camouflage really well because they're fucking magical. But they used to tell us that magic was fake all the time, but it's not. We know it's not. We see it all the time. You know, we see miracles happen all the time. And so I think it's really, really kind of cool that collectively so many people are waking up to that realization, and we're all at different levels of that waking up, right? Like, you don't just all of a sudden, boom, I'm awake. Just not like, you know, that's another video entirely too, but it's not just all of a sudden, boom, I'm healed either, you know? Like, it's a journey to become awake. It's a journey to become healed. And we are all at different steps of that journey. But I do think that we all at some point realize all of this shit was actually real. Like, they called it Greek mythology when they taught it to us in middle school, but I still feel like when the really big fucking storms are coming, that Zeus and Thor are like having a fucking thumb wrestle or something, you know? Like, something's going on because this shit is fucking intense, and I like want to film it and hide in the basement at the same time. Magic is powerful, and there's definitely a presence when you feel certain things like that. Like, you know You know that the deities are here. You know that they're watching over us. And I believe, as an omniist personally, I believe that there's truth to all religions, all faiths, and I have respect for all. I just choose to follow the ones that I am most aligned with, who feel connected to me. That's how my path is. That is the path that I'm walking. You don't have to do that. Like I said, your path is what you make it. But I'm just saying, I really find that there is truth to it all. And you might just feel aligned to one truth right now, but I find that a lot of people, even if they do stick to their one belief system, they do eventually realize that, like, yeah, I can see how that's true for you. It just doesn't align to me, but I see the truth in it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I mean is, you know, there's truth to all of it. Astrology, you know, deities, mythical creatures, there's a bit of truth to everything. And I think that's the really probably most beautiful and magical part of being a spiritual person, is that deep truth. And that's actually kind of my oath to Odin for this channel revolves around sharing the forgotten truths and the hidden wisdom and the things that him and I both seek when it comes to the research we enjoy. So how am I doing so far? I hope you all are enjoying the channel. Let's get into topic number 6. So I've kind of already touched on this a little bit, talking about like if you're an artist and you understand color theory, but I really want to stress color theory, and I already made a video talking about color magic and talked about how color theory is behind everything, but I just want to talk about it again because that really impacted my whole practice. When I made that connection that color is the magic behind the things, because you see how lavender and amethyst have similar properties. You see how clear quartz, selenite, they are both clear/white, they have similar properties. You see how honey and citrine have similar properties. It's all in the color, right? And I find that to be very special, especially when you think about the rainbow and how all of us feel that magic when we see a rainbow, and how we all have a rainbow inside of us with our chakra system, and how we all get to the other side, like Heimdall, the Rainbow Bridge. Like, there's so many connections with colors, you guys. I could get really in depth about that, and I'm trying not to like get too lost into the woo because this is supposed to be a beginner friendly video. Hopefully I didn't lose too many of you. But I really do find there's so much behind color. There's so much behind color magic and color theory. When you really are able to connect how all of these align, it is so hard to deny magic after that, because it all connects. It all makes sense. And damn, it's been right in front of us this whole time. This whole time? This whole time? Yeah. It has been. It has been. It's pretty fucking cool. Definitely encourage you to research color theory and color magic and those correlations if you haven't already, because baby, oh, it's so powerful. It is the key to everything as far as I'm concerned. Last but not least, saving the hot take for the end so I don't get people clicking off. Intention isn't everything. I said it. I said the thing. I said the thing. Intention isn't everything. You're going to put rusty nails in a healing spell and you're going to tell me that that's going to do something for you? You're going to tell me that you're going to put lavender in a hex and that's not going to make him feel at peace? I mean, maybe if he's allergic. But otherwise, I mean, intention isn't everything. You really do need to do your research. Hard work is everything. Witchcraft is work. It is called a practice for a reason, because you have to practice to figure out what really works, right? They say practice makes perfect, and nobody's practice is perfect. Everybody's still learning. Everybody is still figuring it out. Even the most advanced practitioners were still practitioners. You know what I mean? Like, practice is key. And I find that a lot of people focus a little too hard on the research sometimes, and I'm just gonna say that as well. I'm not a historian. I'm a witch. And I need to learn the history to practice my craft accordingly. But I'm still a witch. I do think research is very, very important. I cannot stress that enough. You really need to understand what you're dealing with before you just start throwing spells together. You need to understand the properties of the plants or the crystals or the essential oils or whatever it is that you may be using. You need to understand how you're using it. You need to know the impact that you're going to create. You need to understand the proper way to cleanse yourself and to dispose of a hex before you just go doing one. You need to understand that you really shouldn't hex family, especially blood family, because you might turn around and hex yourself. Because hexes can be very powerful and they can be generational. So for example, I would just do a cord cutting and a banishing for a toxic parent. I would not hex a toxic parent because you might hex yourself. And there are just certain things, that's just my personal preference. Some people might have to do what they got to do. Very careful. Be sure that you understand what you're doing before you do it. Because intention counts, but it isn't everything. You still need to know what you're doing. Spicy. I'm sending you all so much love. I have to go finish packing for the Beltane retreat. That is this weekend and I'm so fucking excited. We have so much awesome stuff planned. A couple people had to cancel because of life, which is unfortunate. But we are still going to have a great time with those of us who can make it. I'm so fucking excited. This place is really cool. And it is like a homestead in the woods, which is what I want the real retreat to feel like. So I'm really excited for the atmosphere of this place. I'm so excited to show it to you guys. And I will see you next week, probably building more hype about the retreat because we have a lot of stuff planned. I'm so excited, you guys. If you would like to further support the idea of us having a heathen healing retreat that is open to all denominations, support us on Patreon. Our first step is to get a schoolie so we can travel around, and even once we have the healing retreat location, which I haven't found yet, I don't know exactly where I want that to be. I need to have a schoolie to kind of feel places out. But even once we have that, I still want to move around in the schoolie and be able to offer healing and go to various events all over, not just my own. So yeah, if that's something that you would like to do to help support the Heathen Coven and our mission of building a little tiny house community where we can come together and heal and go camping and feast together and celebrate our faith and the gods that we follow and all of that good stuff, please feel free to support us on Patreon. I will see you in the next video. Until then, love and peace. Think like the madman Odin himself and stay weird. You know, weird with a Y. Okay, I love you.